How's it going, guys? Trader Neil here, back at you with another crypto video. So today I am going to be showing you guys a live stream I did in Unity Academy. Unity Academy is one of the Discord groups that I am an analyst in, and there today I talked about BTC, Ethereum, and a bunch of your favorite altcoins. So enjoy the stream today, guys. Of course, I would really appreciate it if before you start watching, you hit that like button, subscribe to my channel, and hit that bell icon so you don't miss any of my future videos. I do these videos every single week, guys. Give you guys crypto alpha. I drop everything that you guys want to know and might want to know about these markets and what I'm buying on the channel, so definitely stay tuned. Other than that, enjoy the stream, guys. Here on BTC, yesterday had a nice move down to the bottom side of our range. Pretty much wicked this should have been previous month low. Let me check. It might have been, it would have been down here. Yeah, this is early May. But we did hit like the low of our range here, which is where I took a long at about 100K 900 there, just after we took the wick here, because it's very clean, guys. Whenever you see liquidity in a 3 drive sort of pattern like this, 1 2 3, usually I see price action come down and take all 3 of them at once, which is what we saw happen. Because usually like a stair step pattern like this, I like whenever I see price come down, take everyone's stops that are sitting in this zone. And that's pretty much exactly what we did to the T, even like on this exchange on Bybit. Came down, took every single one, and then had the reversal. And so far, like, I was telling my students yesterday, like whenever price action was in this zone, I was telling them like, hey, like I'm not personally getting too bearish. They were worried about the daily close, especially overnight. And then I was showing them here on the Bitcoin daily chart that, overall, yes, I do understand that BTC did lose technically like this consolidation daily range from May with lows around like 102, 750 or so. But the thing is, if you look left, like we have some developed price action now, guys. We don't just have like price discovery in this zone where you don't have any potential supports built up or anything like that. Like if you look left, this level at 100K, 108.91, pretty big daily SR level. If you look left, like closing above there can at least get you a bounce in this case over here to at least like 105. And that's exactly what we got today. We got that 105 bounce. Does that mean we're going to have a full blown reversal to like all-time highs? In my opinion, got a lot of work to do before then. But so far, what I will say is Bitcoin absolutely loves to put in fake outs to the downside of a range and then reclaims on a bullish engulfing candle. Bitcoin is the king of doing so there. I have a recent example right here of that. You've got a fake out with a bearish candle to the bottom side of your range, and then immediately followed by a bullish engulfing candle, retest, boom, higher. And if you go back, you can see similar situations. I would say that another good one that I know just like straight up off the top of my head happened back here in the beginning of 2024, where Bitcoin pretty much put in a move below the range and then immediately reclaimed with a bullish engulfing candle and then kept going. Another good case of it comes in this 2023 range here in the summer, where you had a very similar situation, guys. Here on this chart, it was like actually like perfect lows, but if you look at it in terms of the same sort of like consolidation range sort of thing that I'm talking to you guys about in current range, where you don't have, lower lows on daily candle closes, boom, you get that lower low, bullish engulfing candle, reclaim, boom, Bitcoin continues that uptrend. And so Bitcoin loves to have shitty daily closes below ranges and then reclaim it afterwards. It's pretty much its thing. And so looking at things now on BTC current price action, yes, I would like to see Bitcoin close with a daily bullish engulfing candle. However, upside is still also capped here, guys. You do have a 4-hour range here, which I really like. This is looking pretty good in itself in its entirety. But I do want to see BTC hold above this 4-hour OB, this bearish OB, see if we can get a push from there. If not, then I do think this starts to come down. I drew it on this chart here. You got some pretty good confluence in this zone here, guys. You got a higher time frame point of control here of our range, and then I did draw a volume profile from this lower time frame range, coming in with the value area low at 103.6, sorry. And so, and you have an hourly OB there, so I would be looking for a potential reversal if we do get a move back down to this zone. Because also you can see it's a pretty nice looking SR level too, so you can manage your risk pretty well there. Other thing here on BTC that I am going to stress to you guys to not get like uberly bullish and hope that we're gonna like just continue on all-time highs. Where we rejected from on Tuesday here, very big SR level. So if you look left here, on whenever Bitcoin put in its all-time highs, started ranging, this distribution range ended with a 4-hour close back under 106,790 or so. And that's exactly where you want to see price action reclaim before potentially getting higher prices. So if Bitcoin comes down, even retraces to the, you know, maybe even like 102, could even come down all the way to the value area low over the weekend, and then start to put in an uptrend, this to me is going to be your trigger for potential new all-time highs. But you got to see the reclaim there before seeing anything crazy, in my opinion. Do I think you missed the boat if you didn't take the long yesterday? Not necessarily. I still think you could easily get a weekend move to the downside. It's going to be very telling, though, what happens after that move to the downside. Are we going to, you know, if we get a move down, are we going to see a reclaim? Are we going to see a good reaction at these lows? Or is Bitcoin just going to take a swan dive and continue lower? Because technically, even though we had a nice move up, we technically haven't broke out of this downtrend here, guys. Like, this downtrend is still very much intact. And so I do think it is very important to have perspective here, to not just go max long, hoping that this local support is going to hold. I think buying at value and shorting at, you know, it's the opposite, at like greed, you know, is the way to be doing things. So yeah, it's pretty much what I'm thinking about on BTC here. I think a pullback at this point would not surprise me one bit. Could still play out this range for a while, guys. It's the summer, so really during summer price action, guys, like you really shouldn't be expecting a whole lot to happen, because you get a lot of boring nothingness during the summer. So just playing the range, looking for range plays, that sort of thing, is the way to do it. And honestly, I see, to me, more opportunity in some altcoins than I do in BTC right now, at least, you know, at current price. So all right, guys, so we're going to be talking about my sponsor Breakout prop firm really quick, guys. Are you someone in crypto that has had a lack of liquidity? You're seeing all these P&Ls posted on Twitter. Your friends are flexing their P&Ls. They're flexing their dollar P&Ls. And you just want to get into that game and you want to be flexing your own P&Ls. Well, fear no more. Breakout Prop Firm is going to be that prop firm that will help you do exactly that. Because with Breakout, guys, this is essentially your way of playing with someone else's money. In fact, for just $800 with a one-step evaluation, you can potentially start trading with up to $100,000 of an account size here, guys. With $100K, you could be trading big money with only putting up small risk here, guys. And in my opinion, that is the best thing you can be doing. All you have to do with buying the evaluation is past the 10K account goal, or if you get any of the smaller accounts past those account goals, all you have to do is trade to that amount. Boom, you hit that amount and bam, you get $100,000 of money to play with, and then you can have that money to be able to trade anytime. All you have to do is follow the max daily loss and max drawdown parameters, but you can trade up to 5x leverage, guys. They have tons of coins on their exchange. As you guys can see, they've got Bitcoin, ETH, Sol, and they've got tons of altcoins. They list altcoins pretty much the day that they come out. And so if you guys want to trade with up to $100,000 of someone else's money and be able to trade those altcoins we'll be talking about in the rest of the video today, definitely check out Breakout Prop Firm. Here's the URL. And then use my code in the top right here to be able to get a nice discount on your evaluation. Definitely worth it. And then let me know how you guys like Breakout in the comment section below. All right, guys, back to the video. Okay. Let's take a look at Ethereum. My thing on Ethereum here, guys, is on the 4 hour, I would very much like to see Ethereum continue to hold above 2440 or so to continue this range sort of thing. I'll go ahead and delete that. Here's another sort of demand line that I see. I think this one at this point is probably more relevant. You still have higher lows in this range, guys. You technically do. And so I'm not super bearish on Ethereum, honestly. It still looks pretty much fine to me. But am I going to be buying Ethereum at current price? No, I am not. Why am I not going to be doing that? Ethereum is sitting at range POC resistance and also hasn't even flipped 4 hour trend bullish again. If you look at Ethereum in this range, guys, your 4 hour bull flips here are pretty much your trigger to get long. And so for me, unless you're longing the bottom side of the range, for now, this is sitting right at resistance. And so I could see Ethereum coming down, filling out this zone, and then getting a potential bounce. I think, taking a long at the bottom side of this range wouldn't be the worst idea, just because your RR can be very good with that. But yeah, let's see what happens here. I think a move down coming up would not surprise me one bit, though. Unless, of course, you reclaim 2540. If you reclaim that level, and that's going to be a 4 hour trend reclaim, then yeah, I think Ethereum goes up locally. Okay, and then someone said Sol underperforming. Let's see. Yes, so Sol here, another one that is just retesting 4 hour trend. I do think Sol at current price is still not this is just a reaction off support, in my opinion. To me, this isn't any sort of sign that this is going to reverse back to the upside. I do think here on Solana, I would very much like to see something like we saw on Ethereum, where you get a reclaim a 4 hour trend, but at the moment it's not looking that great. Pretty much front ran your equal lows here. I will say I like how this wick, this liquidity at 140 hasn't been hit yet, and technically this wick hasn't either, just barely missed. And so I would be looking potentially for a scalp long around 140 flat on Solana. That would interest me. Let's take a higher time frame golden pocket here. I kind of want to see where that is. And then let me pull my volume pulls all the way across now. Oops. Okay. So higher time frame volume pulls showing most of your support really is coming in around 126 and below here, guys. And so what I will say is on Sol, I think you can get a nice, I guess you could consider it another drive of bull divs. This is more than 35 bars though. And so one more move down to retest that level would have me pretty interested in going long. So I do think you'll get a nice looking bull div drive there with one more spike. Something like that. I would like that very much. So let me post this really quick. Yeah, if I take this, I'll ping you guys. Oh yeah, and this is rejecting off previous week low, Monday low right now. So that's looking pretty bearish. Let's go to the hourly chart here. This hourly looks toppy too. The way these wicks are forming, man, not looking hella good for bulls, soul bulls. I think you could potentially just straight up, I'm not a big fan of shorting support, but I'm not liking how this is looking, so I could definitely see soul coming down. It would not surprise me. All right. Let me show you guys a couple of coins that I just looked at, because I think you guys will have some interest with them. I drew out a couple of potential plays. Fartcoin, for example. This. I took a short here on Fartcoin. It's already playing out. It's too late. The breakdown short here already coming down. Yeah, this looks like it's gonna come down one more time to yearly open, previous month low. I don't really like what Fartcoin is doing here, honestly. This downtrend is for sure starting to not look great. I mean, the 12-hour downtrend here is definitely confirmed. It's like for sure confirmed here. And so I think you want to see Fartcoin. I'm probably going to be looking to see this at least start to taper off the selling before buying back in. Like, honestly, I would really like to see this at the very least, like, start to, not even here, probably down here somewhere, start to put in some sort of chop solidation range, you could call it, before making any sort of headwind for a bottom. Like, something like that would not surprise me one bit. Oh yeah, I think 80 cent to 69 cent Fartcoin is the next buy opportunity. Probably not before then. Are we shorting Sol? Yeah, there's a argument to be made with this, that I'm looking at candle closes, and I'm also looking at the 4-hour trend bearish retest there. I mean, doesn't look great. So yeah, that's what I was looking at on Fartcoin for a higher time frame. And then a couple things I've been looking at as well. Launchcoin is definitely one that I'm interested in. So launch here. It has my interest because, lower time frames here starting to curl back up, and I think you can manage your risk pretty well. Like, if Launchcoin stays above Monday high long enough, I think this could continue up from here. But I wouldn't be super surprised to see this at least get one more spike down. And I'll probably start a position around like 149 and then look for something like that. This is one of the newer shiny coins that I think, you know, is starting to look quite promising. Okay, couple other ones. Definitely want to show you guys Injective here, because I am looking for this to come down, but this is starting to look pretty good. Injective is one of those coins that was weak for the longest time, but is actually starting to look better than a lot of alts. I really like that it came down and swept range lows, pretty similar to what you saw in Bitcoin, and got a nice reaction off of it. It's not as much of a lackluster reaction like some of these other alts, and so I would very much like to see it come down. You got good confluence for me at this level at 11.6. I am very much thinking about taking a long there. Something like that. And I do think like the first tap after getting this impulse back up, probably going to be a nice looking one. So yeah, I'll probably post this one in my channel, honestly, because I very much like the way this is looking. It's just really easy to manage the risk here, you know. Similar to BTC, like how I'm looking for a potential higher low, it's kind of what I'm looking at here on Injective 2, is a sort of higher low situation. Yeah, this will go on YouTube. Let's see. Yeah, so hype still looks pretty good here. Getting rejected currently by this downtrend on the hourly, and so could easily have another spike down. But I actually, like, based off of this range, like, it's just getting this sort of chop solidation. But I really, honestly, I still like the entry we got from last week. And so looking at this chart, I could easily see it come back down to sweep these lows, come down to the value area low, but I probably would re-enter this right at 32.37. So our previous entry still looks good here. I really like it. It's also, you know, yesterday we got a monthly open tag, don't have the Monday low tag yet, so could come down and get the tap there. Okay, I think Tau I also looked at. Let me show you guys what I'm looking at here. Well, that's not the right Tau chart. Let me find it really quick. Let's see. Got too many Taos on this watch list, that's for sure. Way too many. Well, shoot. Let me go ahead and just use the fresh chart. We're good. No problem, no problem. We adapt. So I would personally get interested on Tau again if it does come down to about 334 or so. That's like a pretty stacked SR area for me. and I like what I'm seeing there. Somewhere in this zone, take all of these lows that have been built up over here, grab all of them. I still think this is going to downtrend, by the way, but grab all of them, come down, and then hopefully start to get a little bit of a reversal there. Otherwise, you know, you all know what happens if you start closing the daily back under 313. That's when you just cut this thing entirely, in my opinion, because, well, your downside after that point is pretty substantial. So you don't want to see that happen. If that happens, though, you definitely don't want to be in it anymore. So, do I always wait for a retest to enter? No, I don't always. But do I want to enter on, like, for example, I was telling my students last night, Victor can attest, that I was looking for higher prices and a bounce, and I longed a couple things overnight, like right after daily close. And now for me, like, I've TP'd on those because honestly and personally, I don't think you should be looking for, you know, after a sort of, you could consider it like a type of V shape at this point. Like, I wouldn't really, let's just say, like, be trying to get too greedy for more and more and more continued upside, especially in a seasonality that we are in now in the summer. Like, I don't think that's the way to be doing it. So I prefer retests, I prefer sweeps rather than breakdowns and breakouts for the most part in choppy environments, because trying to long breakouts, trying to short breakdowns is how you get chopped up whenever price is doing what it's doing. Yeah, I do have mentorships for sure. If you are interested, man, check me out on my link tree, which I'll post in the comment section. I post all my information about all that on my Twitter, especially, and then I got my YouTube channel there as well. So, oops. One second. Copying, pasting this wrong. There we go. I got it. Okay, let's keep going. Let's take a look at ENA. Okay, let's see. So ENA has come back down one more time to the bottom side of this range. You know, personally, I think it's very possible, like, that this continues to consolidate here and form, like, this coin is probably one of the coins that it's actually, like, notorious for just hanging out and consolidating. All the divergence, for example, that built up back here took forever to break out, and every single breakout ended up in a fake out until this really started. Let's just say the sell-offs became much less frequent. And so this is a coin where, you know, honestly, I would probably wait to, if, like, for example, if you've been waiting to add to your bags like me, I still think this is going to be a very nice zone to do that. Because I know I need to be patient with this coin. And yes, I've made a video on it. Yes, I've talked about that I am accumulating it, but I'm not just hoping that I'm not expecting this to just 2-3x one day all of a sudden. Like, I think waiting for this accumulation period to happen, which this is usually how it works, guys. You get an M shape, you get some more accumulation, and then you get something like that over time. It's sort of like a rounded bottom situation where you have a test pump, that's the harmonic, and then you kind of round out and go from there. You see this a lot during bear markets, actually. And so I would consider this to be an ENA bear market, that's for sure, though. And so one more drive down would be a third drive of 12-hour divergence too, which I would very much like. So yeah, one more move down would be a buy op for me. Something like that. All right, guys. I will look at one more coin, okay? So go ahead and send your request because, like I said, just one more before I go. Breakdown potentially beginning on Sol here. Let's see what happens. Let's take a look at Pepe. I think that's a good idea. All right. So our Pepe long from last week hit some nice profits. I'm glad we came up to 125 before rejecting there. Let's see. So bottom side of this 4-hour OB has now been hit. And honestly, like here, my thing on Pepe though is I still think like the way this is looking, this 12-hour downtrend similar to like something like Fartcoin is still going strong. Really, and this is just me being realistic here, nothing happens on Pepe to the upside like short term unless it flips 125. Like this is now your confirmed like lower high area. So you got to see something like that before higher. Otherwise, I'm going to be looking to buy my Pepe spot once again. I've talked about this once before, but you know, it wasn't relevant then because we were trading up here, but I think it's going to become relevant potentially soon. Pepe comes down to this buy zone down here. That's when I start to nibble again. So either a flip of 125 or we come down for something like that at like 0.874. And then I will for sure be interested in buying some Pepe again down here. But yeah, nothing until these prices. Pepe had a good run though, for sure. I mean, you know, from these lows to high, I had about 180% move. So not bad at all. Now coming down for the retest here, I don't think that is a bad thing at all. I think coming down before higher breeds opportunity. And you do have opportunity here. So let's see what happens. 886 down here, 786 up here. Let's just see. See where BTC is as well around these levels and Ethereum. All right, guys. Cool. Hope everyone enjoyed stream today. Thank you all so much for coming. Appreciate it. And so I will be putting this stream up on YouTube after we log off for the day. But hope everyone has a great weekend. Thank you all so much for coming. Stay safe, and I will see you guys for another stream next Friday, okay? All right. Sounds good. I guess the last thing too, guys, is I am going to be announcing another mentorship group on Monday. And so if you guys are interested in joining my summer class, keep an eye on my Twitter, okay? Because that's where I will be posting it. Other than that, have a good weekend, guys. Thanks. Peace.